Hello and welcome to the first video from the Green Eye Gardener. Now if you're anything like me and you've only just recently started to get into your gardening, you might find the whole thing a little bit daunting and not knowing where to start from. So the idea of these videos is that they're going to give people hints, tips and tricks on things that you could be doing in your garden or any outdoor space, be it a balcony or anywhere that can grow green basically. Now as the weather has been turning colder, the nights are getting darker earlier, we've got less time that we can actually spend in the garden. So in the next few months I'll be focusing more on how we could be bringing the outdoors into our homes. This week however I thought it would only be right to kick things off looking at what we could be doing in our garden this time of year. And of course it's the lovely daffodil. We're all familiar with the daffodil. They're all over the place come springtime, and rightly so because they're beautiful. I love the daffodil because they're cheap to buy. You can get them from pretty much anywhere, so any big supermarket or nursery, and they just look amazing and you don't need to give them much looking after really. You just plonk them down, put the soil over them and they grow through. So today I'll be planting my daffodils. I've gone for a mixture of lighter tones lemons, daffodils with deeper toned lemons daffodils. That's just because it gives a little bit more, it breaks it up a bit and just makes it look a little bit more pretty I think, but it's whatever your preference is. I'll also be planting some tulips because about this time of year as well you can be planting your tulips, and the planting method is pretty much exactly the same. You'll want to dig about 10 centimetres down into your soil, put your bulbs down, and then for each bulb that you plant just make sure it's about 10 centimetres apart. Cover over with the soil, and then that's it really. Come springtime you'll be seeing your lovely flowers come through. So obviously daffodils can vary when they come through depending on what the weather's been like that year. I know the last couple of years it's been different each year. But the nice thing about these is obviously you'll expect to see these earlier in spring, and then the tulips, they'll come in about late spring, so you'll be sure to have at least some colour in your garden for a large chunk of that season. I always thought it'd be quite nice as well if you know someone who's not really into the gardening, they don't have any colour in their garden at all. Maybe when you go around the house one time while they're making a tea, you could quickly just plant a few bulbs. Come springtime, they'll walk into their garden and see these lovely tulips that have come out of nowhere, or these lovely daffodils that have come out of nowhere. But again, you might seem like a bit of a weirdo if you don't really know them, so it might not be such a great idea after all. But that's it from me today. I hope you really like the videos. What I'd like you to do though for next week, if you can, if you have time, go and scavenge around for some cones because we're going to be having lots of fun with these in a few weeks' time. So that's it from me this week. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and tune in for more. Have a good week.